Today's program is sponsored by The Anthony Vincent Salon. Say hello to beautiful.
You're listening to Trend Radio, where we talk about what's hot and what's not. Get into the loop with us. I'm Anthony Vincent.
And I'm Elise, and we're your radio gateway to what's trending with beauty, fashion, health, wellness, and sex.
Mostly sex.
Mostly sex. Listen to us anytime, anyplace. Download the TuneIn app to your smartphone or tablet and make 920 The Voice your favorite.
You'll be glad you did.
Of course you'll be glad you did.
We've got a great show for you this morning.
Of course we do.
We've got a very special guest today, Lee, the cruise director of a very famous cruise line, and he's going to give us the inside scoop on living and working aboard a mega cruise ship.
Fabulous.
We've got all this and much more. Don't touch that dial. We are Trend Radio.
Oh, yes, we are.
This portion of our show is sponsored by Susan Eckley Ruck of ID Life. Not a one-size-fits-all nutritional program.
ID Life stands for Individually Designed Life, where nutrition is personal, formulated just for you and your needs.
Get started today. Take the free HIPAA-compliant health assessment.
healthforlife.idlife.com.
That's the number 4.
Or give Susan a call, 609-712-1351.
Follow her on Facebook.
You'll be glad you did. So, Anthony, how much fun did we have the other day filming our Spanish commercial?
Oh, man, that was terrific.
Wasn't that so great?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
And the girls were so much fun, and they were getting so into it. It was so great.
Yeah.
You know, why don't you just give us a little bit of something?
Well, let's talk about the commercial. And then...
Oh, but I want to hear it. It's so great. Everybody's going to be interested. They're going to want to hear your message.
Okay. Well, this was really something that I've been wanting to do for a long time.
I know, and you do it really well. You have a great Spanish accent.
Thank you.
Well, you know what my favorite part was, with the whole thing? When I was looking at the little screen, watching, some of your hairs...
That's the teleprompter.
No. That was you looking at the teleprompter. I was looking at the little screen watching it being filmed.
I see.
You were watching the teleprompter because you needed your lines. But I loved looking in the little screen, and because I see, I look for all the flaws or all the things that they're going to say.
And I'm sure there was a lot of flaws.
There weren't a lot of flaws. I wasn't saying it for that reason, but I look for things that just in case, so we can just make sure everything looks perfect. But my favorite thing was, I guess the way the lighting was hitting, it made your hair look like feathers in some areas. My favorite part was taking the black magic marker and coloring your hair.
Yes, thank you very much for sharing that.
I just couldn't help it. It was just so funny.
I am prematurely gray for those of you who may not know what I look like. So there's a couple of
I think that I've given you a lot of your gray hairs.
Yeah, they all have a name on them.
Is my name on any of them?
Yeah, quite a few. Really?
Really? I thought that maybe this little patch here where you didn't have hair, maybe that was
That's
from me.
That's what, I pulled out because of you and the rest of the ladies that I work with.
Oh, my God. I think that's terribly mean. I'm lovely.
But getting back to this commercial, I really... wanted to say that I have thought about doing this for a couple of years now. We have a wonderful Latino
clientele. We absolutely do.
Yeah, and over the years we've added some wonderful girls to the salon who also happen to be Spanish, Latino. Yeah, and just what a wonderful group of people that we're working with, but
everybody we work with is wonderful.
Oh, of course. But this is there's a new market, and being in business for as long as we've been in business, we are constantly reinventing ourselves.
Always,
and this is just a segment of the community that that is growing in our area, and we just love.
So why don't you give it to them then?
All righty. Okay. For all of our
Latino listeners.
Yes. Here we go. In Spanish. Soy Anthony Vincent del Salón Anthony Vincent, sirviendo la comunidad latina durante 40 años. Somos un salón internacional de estilistas de México, Ecuador, Grecia, Filipinas y Nueva York. Nuestros estilistas pueden crear un perfecto estilo para usted. El salón de Anthony Vincent es el salón perfecto para usted. Llámenos ahora 609-448-2212. Eso es 448-248-2212. Estará feliz que lo hizo.
Isn't that great? That was really great. You did it really well.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah,
But
I
know
don't-
everything we do at Anthony Vincent, we do well.
We do great. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I think that was, I love your Spanish accent. I think it's fabulous.
Well, actually, I don't have a Spanish accent. What I have is an American accent or no accent, speaking Castilian Spanish. I guess
okay, then.
those 3 years of Spanish in high school and the 2 years in college, yeah, I guess that really paid off.
Well, speaking of high school, my favorite shoes in high school were my blue suede clogs. And now I'm so excited to say clogs are back. Hottest thing this coming fall. I mean, well, fall now.
Didn't they
Hottest
make
thing-
a song about the blue suede clogs or something like that?
blue suede shoes? Elvis Presley, yeah. But I don't care about that right now. I'm talking about clogs.
Okay.
Talking about shoes, okay? Because they're like slip them on and off you go. They were my favorite. I love them, and I hope to find them again because there's nothing like having comfort and trend for the woman who's both creative and unpretentious. Perfect.
Unpretentious. Wait a
Yes.
minute, is that anybody that we know in this room?
Absolutely. And speaking of favorites, you know my favorite cocktail starts with my vodka, right?
Always vodka.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Well, did you ever know how many uses there were?
I only know one,
Okay, well, there's more than just a good buzz
and
for
I'm
vodka.
going to have a sip right now.
I'm
as I
sure you
undo
are.
the bottle. My infused vodka.
Well, did you know
Well, let's talk about this infused vodka.
it is not infused vodka? No, it is infused water that I made.
This isn't vodka?
It may
I've been
look like
drinking this
vodka,
the whole time
a lot
thinking
like
it's
vodka, but it is not vodka. It's
I was
water.
anticipating this vodka segment, and I was drooling for this bottle of oranges, cucumber, mint, and raspberry infused.
Water.
That looks like vodka. I'm going to take another sip anyway.
It
really is
looks
good.
like vodka, but it's not vodka.
I think he was hoping a little too hard. It's half gone already.
You know what's so interesting is that he's having a reaction like it would be vodka.
He's starting to slur a little bit.
He's been, yeah. It's interesting to me.
What do you
that-
mean?
matter?
What do you mean it's not as real?
Okay, well, listen to this, guys. Vodka is an amazing cleaning agent. Okay, it kills mold, mildew, and germs. And you can clean your bathtub and your showers with it. And get this, you can put it in a spray bottle and spray your caulking. How funny is that?
Spray your what?
Your caulking.
Oh,
Oh, you're so bad. Okay.
So, well, when the caulk gets dirty, and it's like, it
yeah,
goes like
spray it with your vodka.
So, and it turns black, and the vodka will turn your black cock white again.
Well,
Does it shrink the cock once it's the caulking around the tub in the shower? Does it shrink when it goes back to
When you
to
spray
nice
it,
and-
when
you
it's
spray it nice and-
cold?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm going to have to try that, though.
Okay.
Don't you worry about a thing. I'm going to go get myself a bottle of vodka with a spray on top, and I'm going to spray the caulking for you, and we'll just check that out. How's that?
Now, it just strikes me, though, I don't know that I would use the high end.
Listen, I don't
Vodka
care what
for
kind of
my
vodka
cock,
you use for your cock. I don't care what kind of vodka you use. Okay, all I know is that it dissolves any kind of adhesive and sticky and gooey stuff. Okay? So that's very good to know too.
Before or after
You spray
you
it?
spray the shower, yeah.
After you spray it.
Okay.
That's when the dissolving happens.
I'm going to have another sip of this.
Yeah, you good. That's good. So, do you want to prolong the life of your razors?
Oh, I do.
Good. Put your razors in some vodka and it'll disinfect the blade and prevent rusting.
That's got to be the alcohol.
And listen to this. Yeah, absolutely. If you drink too much vodka, and you know how when you drink too much vodka, you could throw up. After you're done throwing up, if
Have
you're
another
okay,
sip of vodka?
if you're okay enough, you can clean your vomit stains. You just have to saturate your vomit stains, scrub and blot. Okay. I think that's great.
Where do we get this stuff?
Oh my gosh. And listen, you can use it as an astringent. It'll clear your face. And for you, this is really important, because of the salon. You can put vodka in your shampoo. It'll cleanse your scalp and remove any toxins from your hair and stimulate new growth.
That is very cool. And we do always have a liter of vodka around the salon just for,
Always, yeah.
just for these reasons.
Yeah, these are the reasons. You can swish the vodka in your mouth to cure toothaches and canker sores.
I got to tell you about swishing the vodka.
Tell me, I'm curious.
When we would have our Christmas parties and barbecues over at the house for our salon team and clients and guests, the guests and my staff would try to get me stone drunk, and
It's not hard, by the way. All you need is one little drink.
Or a water bottle.
Now a water bottle infused
cucumber.
with some fruit and vegetables.
Well, they would try to get me drunk, and of course, I'm hosting a party with
All these people.
with 100 people or more
Coming in and out, right?
Yeah, so I had to make sure that my guests were having a good time. I would gargle and swish and splash myself with vodka and pretend that I was drunk. So my friends.
Did you just hear it, everybody? Anthony Vincent pretends. How cute is that? But everybody,
I don't usually fake it. Do you?
I never fake it. And if you're just joining us now, your favorite salon is now your favorite radio show.
We make you healthier, wealthier, and sexier every time you listen.
Tune into us.
I'm Anthony Vincent.
And I'm Elise, and we are Trend Radio. So we were talking about vodka, and we were talking about you.
And I thought I was drinking vodka.
And did you know if you have smelly feet, you can wash your feet with vodka, and it'll cure your foot odor?
I do not have smelly feet.
I wasn't
never
talking,
did, never will.
I wasn't saying that you had them. I said to our listeners, if you have smelly feet, wash your feet with vodka. It'll cure your foot odor.
Can you just spray them?
I guess
or is
you
it
can.
dunking? Because I really like
you
the
can
idea
just-
of putting the vodka in like a spray bottle.
Okay, well, if you put it in a spray bottle, it'll kill flying bugs, bees, wasps, things like that.
Really?
And the little
I
gnats.
never kill a bumblebee. Bumblebees are very integral in the...
They are, but if one stings me, I'm going to pass out, so you'll have to just give me a shot with my EpiPen.
Okay, we'll do that. We'll make sure we have one on hand.
Okay, so I just wanted to say I hope you enjoyed our vodka stint because that was really good stuff. Now, if you like vodka, here's another thing you can do that would be really awesome. Now, I know you thought you were drinking infused vodka, but you weren't. You're drinking infused water. Okay?
Still tasty.
Still very tasty. But here's what else you can infuse with. Lemons, because they are a powerful healing fruit. Did you know this? Lemons are really good for you.
I enjoy lemons, and I do squeeze lemons on everything I can.
Yeah, and we put it in our water all the time.
Yeah, whenever we have water, and of course we use bottled water, we don't use tap water, and I will squeeze easily a quarter to a half a lemon in my bottled water.
I do too. But here's what's so great. Lemons are an antibiotic and an antiseptic. And get this, they have anti-cancer properties. Okay? So they help with absolutely everything. They're rich in vitamin C and B complex and minerals such as iron, calcium, magnesium. I mean, so many more. They're considered to be a wonderful tonic that will cleanse and detoxify your entire body. They're a superfruit.
Is this just the juice, or can you eat the peel?
You can
also?
eat the rind also, just like with the oranges that I always eat.
Yes. Oh yeah, the dried oranges. We eat the rind.
They're awesome. Listen to this though.
It's great for bad breath.
And they can alkalize your blood, your cells, your lymph nodes, your organs, and your tissues too. Lemons are just awesome.
Do you know when you alkalize yourself, there's a theory that a cancer cell cannot live in an alkaline...
An alkalized body. That's
Yes.
why so many people drink alkalized water.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that it actually, works for everyone, but I guess it depends on the chemistry of your body.
And it has to do with all of the other things that you're doing, your healthy living or unhealthy living.
True, because certain things can counteract things. But lemons are also known to destroy bacteria in the mouth and the intestines. And they contain a compound Or you're going to make fun of the way I pronounce
I was
that?
just about to, but I won't.
Thank you so much. But this compound
Compoit.
is called, thank you, limonene, which is used to dissolve gall and kidney stones, which is really impressive.
Now say that again. Limonene?
Oh, I don't want to repeat myself. I don't want you to just sit here and make fun of me. Yeah, limonene. For gall and kidney stones. Yeah, and they can also help prevent oral, lung, skin, breast, stomach, and colon cancer. Isn't that amazing?
I'm just...
You're speechless.
Yeah.
I see this. Your mouth was just hanging open. Were you waiting for another drink?
Well,
You needed another shot of your vodka here?
well, they got to be very rich in bioflavonoids then. Those are the things that boost the immune system, right?
Absolutely.
And they reduce inflammation in the body. And that's where most of our health problems stem from. Inflammation in the body.
Yeah.
And there are many fruits and vegetables that reduce this inflammation. Because I remember this from other shows that we've done.
Yes, but lemons are huge. Like I said, they're a superfruit, and they're really great for that. And it's also great. They're also great for colds, coughs, sore throats, infections, and just so much more.
I always... When I don't get sick very often, but if I do, I will make some green tea and I will squeeze a lemon into that tea and drink that hot tea with lemon.
Oh, absolutely. Well, lemon's like a natural astringent, and it goes through your whole body, and just it's a cleansing. And it always, you can have it hot or cold, and you can eat them. I mean, they're pretty acidic, but they're also, alkalized. So they're awesome for you. And they're also great topically too. And they're a great remedy for wrinkles because they're so acidic.
We don't have any of those though.
Oh, speak for yourself, babe. If you don't want to admit it, don't. It's perfectly fine. But it's a great remedy for wrinkles, toothaches, get this, sunburns.
Really?
Yeah.
See, now I would have thought...
It could burn, but it goes on. It's sort of like, the vinegar thing where you put, if you have a sunburn, you can put vinegar on, but lemon juice is the same type of thing. It'll help alkalize your sunburn, which is great. It's great for acne. It's great for a hair rinse, a facial astringent. I mean, it's just great for so many things. And here's the best part. Since they're so wonderful and they're so tasty, you can put it in your vodka and perfecto. It's fabulous.
You're talking about infusing your vodka.
I would infuse the vodka with the lemon juice, or we could do it the other way around. Infuse the lemon with the vodka.
You know what? I think we're going to try that. We're going to pick up a couple of lemons today. We're going to cut them up. We're going to put them in a little jar, put some vodka in there.
And just infuse
And
the
just
vodka.
infuse it. Leave it in there for a week or two.
And then we're going to drink it.
and then we're gonna
I'll be
drink it.
just carrying you out of wherever we are.
Well, don't you carry me everywhere.
I don't carry you at all. You and I, we walk side by side.
Oh, how romantic is that? Good Lord.
I wasn't saying it for romanticism.
Oh.
I was saying it because it's the truth.
Well, you've heard it first. The truth.
Well, I always speak the truth.
Yes, you do.
Well, I hope you liked my information on vodka and lemons.
I do. And I can't wait to drink our vodka and lemon.
Me either. I could actually use a drink right about now. After spending all morning with you, it gets a little rotten.
Well, here you go. How about some of this fake infused vodka?
I didn't say
Have
it was.
a- have
It's
a sip,
not
have a sip.
fake infused vodka. It's water with
Infused
delicious
lemon.
oranges and blackberries, cucumbers, and a dash of mint.
Gulp, gulp.
Need a salon that's about the whole you? Precision haircuts, flawless makeup, impeccable nails, top-rated professional hair products. Anthony Vincent Salon. Looking for a hairstylist who has his finger on the pulse of all the latest trends? Anthony Vincent Salon. Looking for a dependable salon with over 35 years in the industry? Anthony Vincent Salon. Looking for New York City and internationally trained stylists that will create the perfect look for you? Anthony Vincent Salon. Shine brightly while walking down the aisle. Anthony Vincent Salon. For longer, thicker, beautiful hair extensions, Anthony Vincent Salon. Incredible makeup applications for weddings, proms, or any special occasions. Anthony Vincent Salon. Have dry, brittle summer hair? Get a hot shot. Anthony Vincent Salon. Before you put a ring on it, manicure it. Anthony Vincent Salon. Your image is their specialty. For the 150,000 hairs on your head, there's only one choice. Anthony Vincent Salon. For a more beautiful you, call now 609-448-2212 and follow them on Twitter.
And now our very own gatekeeper of matrimonial law, Roseanne de Torres.
Check out DeTorres and DeGeorge, certified matrimonial law attorneys, at dndfamilylaw.com.
You'll be glad you did. Good morning, Roseanne.
Good
Welcome
morning.
Thanks for having me back.
It's good to see
Good
you.
morning.
So I have a couple of questions that, believe it or not, a couple of people actually asked me to ask you. So if he's the one who files for divorce, doesn't he have to be the one to pay for the divorce?
Not always.
I thought that too, but I wasn't sure. I'm not the expert. I figured we would ask the expert.
Yeah, it's always the age-old question, how do you pay for the divorce? There's a lot of people out there in this economy that don't have the resources to hire an attorney. We definitely work with people to give them some insight and ideas about how to do that. Just because you file for divorce does not mean you pay for the divorce. Most people take the money out of the whatever else they have. They liquidate an asset, they take it out of their savings, they put it on a credit card, which means they've created a debt. And that becomes a marital debt that has to be divided somehow in the divorce.
How many divorces do you actually put on a credit card?
You mean it as a firm?
As a firm, is it?
Most people, many people,
Many?
many people. I mean, I don't know if they're paying it off every month or if they're creating, debt and just paying a little at a time. I don't know, that much about that aspect of it, but it's very convenient because it means people can pay over the phone. It just provides a lot more flexibility for them.
So that's pretty interesting. So you can pay for your divorce on a credit card.
And you get points.
Yeah, you get points. Then you can go on a vacation when you're done with your free points.
Right.
With your points. That's
the points
amazing.
are marital, though.
So
They
that's interesting.
We've
though.
actually had cases, that have been disputed where people fight over the miles and the points, the
Really?
reward
That's
points.
amazing.
Oh yeah,
Aren't they
That's
ever
amazing.
done?
yeah, no.
They're
But you
never
can
done.
create marital debt to pay for the divorce, and then at the end of the case, if there's a huge disparity in income, people make wide variations in their income. Usually, the person that makes most of the money will pay the lion's share of the counsel fees. Will come off their side of the table.
I see.
But not always. Sometimes it just everybody takes what they need from the pot, but sometimes we divide it up disproportionately.
Well, that makes
There's
lot
not
of
a black
sense.
and white answer to that one.
So if you have money together in a joint account, can you take it out or?
Yes, you absolutely can. So joint account means it's either one of your money.
Oh,
You can take all of it,
Oh,
but
and
you
one
wouldn't,
can
you
leave.
wouldn't want
the-
to necessarily do that. But maybe in a hugely abusive situation, and that's the only access, that's the only resource that's available that's joint, we may ask them to take all the money. But most of the time, we just tell people to take half, right? Because
That
you don't
would
want to
be
be
fair.
you don't want to be greedy, right?
Yeah, no.
The other
Or-
party may not feel the same way.
Exactly. They may not feel the same way, and they also need resources to engage an attorney too, and that's only fair and
True.
appropriate.
Yeah, well, you would think so, but that doesn't always work out that way. So I have another interesting thing. If you're both on the deed of the mortgage, okay, you're both on the deed, but the mortgage is only in one person's name, does that mean the one person is
The one
the
that has to pay.
responsible one?
Again, technically, the bank, as far as the bank is concerned, yes. But between the spouses, if you both own property, you're both between yourselves responsible to pay for it. You may not have an ability to pay. That's the question. The next question you have to ask. Do you have an ability to contribute? If you're still living there and you contributed before, the name of the game is always maintain the status quo if you can until some other arrangement is reached. But if you're not living together and you have a house of your own that you have to live in and pay for, you may not have an ability to contribute to the house that you left. So that's really the question. So we look at what their financial circumstances are.
You made a comment a couple of times about the ability to pay. Have you ever come across the client who actually lied to you about their ability to pay?
It's hard to lie about an ability to pay because tax returns speak for themselves. So the people that can hide their income are the people that are usually self-employed or just don't file tax returns. Then we don't really know. That's not that easy to do, to tell you the truth.
So for the
We
most
usually
part,
know.
That's good.
That's right.
Wow. Very cool. Okay, why don't you give your phone number so people can give you a call?
It's 908-284-6005.
Call Roseanne and her firm today.
You'll be glad you did.
I'm Anthony Vincent of Anthony Vincent Salon. Time for another fun and fabulous beauty tip with our tip chick. And here she is.
Got static? Does your hair fly away? prioritize, and winterize. Spritz your hairbrush, comb through, and now you're ionized. Say hello to beautiful.
Remember, for the 150,000 hairs on your head, there's only one choice. Call us now at 609-448-2212. You'll be glad you did.
If you've just joined us, you're listening to Trend Radio. I'm Anthony Vincent. And I've got a very special guest today. I'm talking to Lee, cruise director of a ship. And let me tell you, what an interesting gentleman Lee has turned out to be. Now, we could use the word gentleman, we can use the word character, we can use the word personality.
I've been called worse things than that, Anthony.
So, Lee, tell us about your life experiences and some of the interesting things that have happened to you as a cruise director. I know a little bit about your humble beginnings. I know you started off as a...
I was a Bugs Bunny back in the day, back in Australia. Yeah, I was. I dressed up in fuzzy characters and sweated a lot in the hot Australian summer.
I could imagine.
Yeah, and then I joined the company that I worked for about 10 years ago, and started from the ground up and doing the entertainment as a cruise director's staff member, and then worked my way up to. It took a long road to get here, but we got here as a cruise director, from activities manager to cruise director.
And that took about 10 years.
About 10 years. I wasn't really as focused as I should have been. I started to enjoy the fact of international women, which I never have had the privilege of.
I love international women.
They're fantastic.
Yes, they are.
Yes. So that my focus wasn't really on the job at hand, and it was a bit of party time. But had to get serious when you start getting older. You got to make sure you look after yourself.
About 30 now? 32?
I'm 40, my friend.
40?
Yes.
Okay.
Look at the hairline.
Yeah.
Yeah, see?
It resembles mine.
Yeah, not pretty.
Now, so the last 10 years, you've been, I'm sure, in the entertainment industry a lot longer than 10 years.
Yes. Yeah, I worked at a theme park for 9 or 10 years before I worked over here for the cruise lines. I did a little bit of TV. I was doing kids TV. Again, I was dressed up in a furry costume. I was a mascot of the kids TV show called Agro's Cartoon Connection. Agro was a little puppet back in Australia. And then, did a little bit of independent films with some friends that were directing or writing some college films.
Oh, clothed or unclothed?
Let me think. No, they were all clothed. They were definitely all clothed, those ones. And what else? What else have we done? Started to do a little bit of hosting on TV, a little bit of radio. Only minimal. Yeah. As a face of the company that I was working for, and as a character.
It was a character. So
it was.
Okay.
I was Austin Powers.
Well,
yes.
Okay, I could
Which
see.
Had some good perks, I will say.
Oh, I'll bet it did.
Yeah.
I'll bet it did. Yes.
Well, the thing is, I mean, you're looking at me right now. You know, I'm not any oil painting. But it was the weirdest thing for me was when I finally put on the Austin Powers costume, and all of a sudden, now there were women just all over me like a rash, as Austin Powers would say.
Really?
So, and it didn't really make sense to me. Now I'm wearing glasses and bad teeth and a wig, and just going, "Hello, baby." All right, there you are. And now, because he's so sexually suggestive, I could get away with murder.
Okay.
But there was an invitation. But I was a good boy. Maybe stupidly, I was in a long-term relationship, so I didn't do the things I wanted to, that my brain was thinking about.
Okay. So now, would you say the long-term relationships are healthy ones when you're a cruise director on a ship, or is that a little difficult?
It's always challenging, always, because at the moment I'm at the point of 4 months away from my girlfriend. We've been dating coming on to 4 years now, but this is another hiatus. This is how our life has been, so we are used to it, but it doesn't get any easier. You'd think it would, and we know the temptations and the challenges that we have when you're on a ship away from your partner.
Yes.
My girlfriend is also 13 years younger than me and Russian, so she's not a bad-looking girl. And so I know that the vultures come out when the fresh meat come onto a ship. I know what happens. So your brain does some pretty dangerous things. It creates all these scenarios that aren't happening, but in your head, that's the truth. That's what's going on.
I know all about that.
Yeah,
I sure
it's
do.
Fun. But luckily, we've got a bit of trust there now. We've been doing it for a long time, so we know that Hey, we'll go flirt. We'll get an ego boost, and as long as you leave it at that, that's fine.
Yes, absolutely. It's what men, we do have egos.
Yeah,
Well, they're little ones, but nevertheless.
Depends how cold it is. That's all.
Now, your lady, is she in the entertainment business
She
also?
is. She's an ice skater.
Ah,
Yep,
okay.
from Siberia in Russia. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anyone that we may have seen or heard of?
No, no. She's on vacation at the moment, so you didn't get a chance to see her perform this week. But no, she didn't compete at the high level. She
Okay.
kind of finished at the school level and club level, and then came to Chips. Did a little bit of holiday on ice, and touring ice shows that tour around the world or the country.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Now, in the entertainment business that you've kind of gone along the journey, how did you wind up on a cruise ship?
It was end of an era, I suppose. End of one long-term relationship of 9 years of having a house and dogs and all that jazz, and then that relationship kind of fell apart, and so we sold the house, and then I realised that I think I need a big change with everything. So I was very comfortable in my job, and I wasn't challenged. So I decided that I wanted to still travel. The job I had allowed me to travel Asia quite a lot, quite extensively, and not to my expense. So that was a wonderful thing. So but that ceased. So I kind of thought, what else can I do that will allow me to travel, still perform, and without me paying for it? And I had a few friends that were dancers or technicians that got jobs with some cruise lines, and then so I threw my hat in the ring, and here we are.
And wow! And during the interview, did you have to perform?
It was very, very interesting. It was a bit of a random moment. I sent through all my resume with the pictures that I'd had taken of the characters I had performed. And a couple of pictures I had were taken by Sports Illustrated when Sydney had the Olympics on. So they came to the theme park and did a swimsuit shoot with Atoll Bolden. He was I think he was from Trinidad, a sprinter, and an American guy. I can't remember who it was. But the model then came over while I was doing my Austin Powers run and wanted to do a shoot. So we did this photo shoot, and I got some really great shots where I really nailed the expressions that I had. So they were my profile shots. So when I sent it through and I went in for my interview, which was in Brisbane, Australia, I went in there and the lady said, listen, before you interview, would you mind just walking around to the office and doing Austin Powers to all the ladies over here? So I didn't have a costume. It was just some random weird little skinny guy coming in going, hello, baby. And then quickly typing away going, what the is this? So, yeah, it was very interesting. So I did perform, not in character, not in any costume, no wigs, no teeth or whatever it was, no makeup. Just said a few lines and that was it. Probably the easiest interview I had. I sat down, they told me about what's your history, blah, blah, blah. Do me a favour, stand up right now, say who you are, where you're from, and that you're going to be hosting 70s night. So I got up and said, well, I'm Lee from Australia, we're going to be doing a 70s night and it's going to be groovy, baby. And he went, okay, thank you, we'll be in touch.
And they were.
And I got a phone interview about 3 days later, and then 3 weeks later I was on a cruise ship.
How exciting is that?
It was pretty exciting.
And this was 10 years ago that this happened?
This was in 2004, yeah. It was.
Time flies, doesn't it?
It sure does.
Yeah.
I gave myself 5 years and here I am at 10. Yeah, I didn't think that was going to happen. But, you throw your hat in the ring time and time again because, of course, you fall in love, you fall out of love, you fall in love again, you fall out of love, and then, now finally going around, I'm not getting it exactly right, but it's getting a little better.
Well, it's all practice.
It is.
Yeah.
If you don't learn from it, then you're a freaking idiot,
Now, you didn't start off 10 years ago as a cruise director.
No, as a cruise director's staff, so an activities team member. So I was the one teaching line dancing to Betty and Joan at the age of 75.
I would have shot myself. Thank you.
You should have seen the emails and the phone calls I had with my friends. What the hell have I done? I've made a mistake. But then came the distraction, came the girls, the love interest, or the lust interest, if you will, and the party time. It was, the rules weren't as strict back then, so you could get away with a little bit more. There weren't as many cameras around the ship, and so you would push the envelope. You wouldn't push it too much, but that allowed you to have a bit of fun, and that put work to the side.
Yeah, that lust interest, that wasn't allowed back then, but you were able to, was it with other, get relationships going with other crew members or with the guests?
Crew members. That's one thing that was always a blanket no is,
okay.
I mean, look, anyone can do it. Anyone can sleep with a guest, but if you're caught,
that's it.
There's no if, buts, or maybes. It was the cruise industry had been torn a new bumhole, if you will, by many people coming on deliberately to find someone to sue them and cry rape. So so the training when we get on board is very, very strict. This is why you don't. This is watch out, and it happens. Every contract there's always 2-3 people I know get fired because they want to try it, but it's got to be a pretty good shag if you're gonna risk your job for it.
Right?
Better be a good one.
Yeah. Okay. So and no problem with relationships with other crew.
That's fine.
That is fine.
That is absolutely fine. Yeah, crew members is fine.
Okay.
As long as they're into it as well. Of course. Yeah. That's of course encouraged, but it's even when I had my interview, it was a guy from the States came out, and he sat down. He said, "Okay, I just want to prepare you. If you're going to go on a ship, please keep in mind you're going to be in a room that's as wide as the length of your bed. There's going to be 2 people in there, bunk beds. You're going to have 1 closet and 2 drawers with a little fridge and a TV. You're going to work 7 days a week for 6.5 months, no days off. And keep in mind that you may have been dating a girl this week and then you break up, and the next week she's now dating your mate or someone else who's shagging it, and it's right there in front of you." So they really laid on, this is real. This is, do you think you're strong enough to be able to handle this kind of a lifestyle? Because it isn't, and you go, yeah, of course I am. Hey, I want a job. And then it happens to you, and you're like, what the hell is this?
Yeah,
it can really tear you up. But then then you can also become that other guy, which is the one that's being the arsehole. That was a lot more fun. Yeah.
If you're joining us just now, we are Trend Radio, and we're talking to Lee, the cruise director of a very famous cruise line, and he is giving us the inside scoop on living and working aboard a floating hotel. Now, with other than relationships, with other just people in general, close quarters, a lot of crew. There's 1,500.
On this ship, we have 1,200 crew.
1,200 crew.
Yep.
Okay. Any fights, between the guys who's, more macho?
All the time.
That is.
All the time. I mean, again, it's another zero tolerance. You fight, you hit someone, well, then you're going to go as well. You'll be handcuffed and escorted off in a U.S. port.
You will. Okay.
So yeah. So look, I've seen some things of people going crazy, knowing that they're going to get fired just from whatever department it was, knowing they're about to possibly get fired or they've received another warning. So they go and pick up a metal pole from down in the incinerator room and go and find their boss and give him a crack around the legs. Or, this
is that an Italian?
Yeah, and the concrete shoes came after that as well. But this is very rare. But you'll be some domestic ones. There'll be some verbal arguments as well. But we got a lot of security on here as well. And our training is also, if you hear something, say something. That is one thing that is pretty new to us. But they're really drumming that in, ramming that home. If you hear an argument going on in a cabin next to you, then maybe you should report it, because it might be more serious than just a couple of people having a bit of a scrap.
Yeah, then you're a rat, though.
Yeah, and see, that's a tough thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it might be the fact that maybe someone is being abused, being physically abused, not just verbal.
Okay.
If it's a couple or whatever.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen many fist fights. I truly haven't. Not amongst crew. I've been involved in some many verbal altercations. Sometimes when alcohol gets the better of you.
Oh yeah. I can't imagine anybody arguing with you though.
I have short man syndrome. No. I'm like a chihuahua. Got a lot to say. Yeah.
Well, I was thinking more your personality being, outgoing, kind. I mean, you seem like
smart. Yeah.
Okay, that can get you cracked. That can get you cracked in my neighborhood.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, I've always got a line for something, but sometimes it comes out without me thinking too much. And that's it. Luckily, I was a fast runner as a kid. Yeah.
Now, I haven't noticed many American workers. I see a lot of a gamut of nationalities and countries and accents, but I have not seen any American workers. Why is that?
Majority of the American workers are in the casts. They're either in the production cast or the people you see on stage. As performers, it's okay, but you very rarely see a dining room waiter, bar server, stateroom attendant, because they work 7 days a week, and the minimal money that they are guaranteed may not be the equivalent of what they get at home.
I see.
Potentially, you can be making as much as the captain. It's because it's gratuity based. So if you work yourself hard, I mean, I've stood stood behind so many bar servers and stateroom and dining room waiters, and I'm watching them counting their money. I'm like, holy cow!
Wow.
So if you're good at your job, you can make a good killing. But the guaranteed money is, if you look at that, you'd go, whoa, no way. And
Okay.
Americans would pay tax on the money too.
And they would, okay.
Yeah.
So for other countries, there's no tax on that money?
It depends on the law from your country.
Okay.
I know Canada, I believe Canada have just changed their laws as well. It used to be that if you were out of the country for, say, 8 months a year, whatever, a certain amount of days a year, that you didn't have to pay tax. That was how it was in Australia, but now they've changed their laws.
They need their money.
Yeah, and they want their money. So, but even though we don't necessarily live there because we're on a ship for 10 months in the year, it's a bit of a grey area. So that's pretty much the reason why.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, production cast members or performers, they will get days off. They'll perform their shows. We always have safety duties and other duties to perform, but they will get 2 or 3 days off a week. So life's not bad.
For the
US.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
US crew.
So I almost want to say, the U.S. workers are probably a little more lazy than, let's say, others.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not asking you to answer that.
Your words, my
I'm
friend.
saying it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I gathered, because especially the cleaning crew
Mm-hmm.
and in the food and beverage people, I don't see them ever not working.
Yeah, they're probably averaging around 10 to 12 hours a day.
God bless.
And that's almost 7 months straight without a day off. And you're right, but and you got to remember some of the places that these crew come from. The little bit of money goes a long way.
Yeah.
So if they can potentially be making more than a manager or a division head, whatever it might be, they will. That's the drive. That's the incentive for them to work their butts off and to come here and leave their family, leave 6, 7 kids at home with Nana and the wife or whatever it might be.
Yeah, some of the staff that I've talked to, they're married, they have 3, 4 kids,
Yep.
and what do you estimate that a good waiter in the restaurant might earn?
That I really don't know. Because all I know is from the positions I've had.
Okay.
That I know what the pay structure would be. For them, I don't really know and truthfully don't know the minimum, what the guaranteed minimum pay. But again, because it's all gratuity based, they could have a good cruise, they could have a bad cruise.
Yes.
There's always that situation. We also have prepaid gratuities as well, and then some people will do the prepaid or it's already put onto the bill.
Yes.
And then halfway through, or they'll get to the last day and say, no, I want to cancel that. So they'll take it off, which everyone's entitled to do. But that affects quite a few people.
Yeah, because those gratuities that you prepay go to everyone on the ship.
Yes, exactly right. And it's very tough too, because Australia, and I would probably say UK guests, or just anyone from the UK, tipping is not something that we do.
Okay.
I mean, because everything, our minimum wage in Australia is pretty darn good. Maybe a waiter or someone serving coffee, whatever, is probably sitting on $20 an hour. So when you buy your coffee, there's no money, there's no extra dollar. The cab driver doesn't get an extra dollar. It's all put into the fare. And we have the GST, goods and services tax. So everything's all there for you. So we're not used to the habit of giving $1.
Yes.
So when first time I ever came to the States and I went to a restaurant, and the service was just like, yep, there you go, here it is. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? And then they give you the tip, and you can put in whatever gratuity you like.
Yes.
Thinking, what am I paying for? Am I paying for the service? And I got crap service? No. But then you got to get, as long as once you start realising that their minimum pay is pretty average.
Yes, very.
But I think that's where the people from some of the other countries, they get it, that if they are actually nice and they are actually providing a good service, that people will easily hand down, go, hands out, go, there you go, there's a $5 or whatever it might be.
Yeah. I saw a lot of that. Even myself. Some people, will tip on a daily basis. Others wait till the end of the week.
Yep.
Now, in the entertainment side, which is your expertise there, they're just given a salary.
Correct.
There's no gratuities, nothing.
No, not for any of the performers. For the activities teams, there are, because depending on what ship you're on and what activities they may have private sessions, and from that you can pick up some commissions.
Okay.
And bingo, there's bingo commissions. So that's for the activities team. But for any of the people performing on the stage, no. They can get a side job, so they could help out the art auction team. Bringing in all the artwork. They could help out the Porter shopping guides by standing on the gangway, handing out leaflets, just organising their collateral.
Okay.
And so that will get them $10 an hour.
Oh, okay. On top of their salary.
On top of it, yeah.
Okay, so it sounds as though pay is pretty good.
Yeah.
Portership.
It can be great. Yeah. The thing is, when I first came on, I was probably making about $20,000 a year less than what I was making when I left Australia. But I was saving more money on here because I wasn't driving a car, I'm not paying for electricity, I'm not paying rent, I'm not buying food. You've got no overheads. So that's where you save the money. I use a phone when I'm in a US port.
Yeah.
And, I just buy the prepaid, whatever it might be. So I'm not on any contracts. Credit cards non-existent. So I had no debt. So that's where I was actually saving more. I was able to live a bit of a free life, seeing some great places. Yeah. Then when I'd go home on vacation, of course, I'm dating someone from somewhere around the world. Yeah. So I'm getting back on a plane and flying to England or flying to Russia or the States, wherever they were from. I would save more money, but I was also spending more money because I'm now used to this lifestyle of, well, I want to do that, so I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Which has been very, very uplifting and a bit of an eye-opener. It sort of took away all those restraints of you shouldn't, you can't, as in just do it. Maybe I'm a little too free with the money. I'll probably never be a very rich man because if I want something, I get it, and if I want to do it, I do it. But
you only live one time.
Exactly.
You only live once.
Yeah.
And there's a book written in the U.S. called Live Like a Millionaire and Die Broke.
Mm-hmm.
And enjoy your life.
Yeah.
And it sounds like you are.
Absolutely.
And you brought up money a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You're paid by check. Cash.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do with that cash?
Money orders, either a wire transfer, you can put it direct into your account, or you can take it home with you.
Okay, I would be very afraid to have cash laying, around.
Of course.
It could disappear very easily.
Yep. And we all have safes. And every cabin has a safe. So when you get your pay, it goes into the safe and gets locked up. The problem is when traveling. Are you going to travel home with 20 grand in your backpack? Or, that's where you get a bit dodgy. And then, of course, if you don't declare the money when you're going in because you don't want, maybe you're trying to hide it from the government, whatever, but they find it, of course, they are in their rights to take it.
Right.
So you run a risk.
Yeah.
Or you declare it, and now the government sees what you're earning.
Okay.
So here comes the tax man.
Yeah, the only two things you can be certain of are death and the taxes.
And the tax, exactly right.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you're joining us just now, we are Trend Radio, and we're talking to Lee, the cruise director of a very famous cruise line, and he is giving us the inside scoop on living and working aboard a floating hotel.
So yeah, it's a weird life. It is. It was a line that I'm a big Pearl Jam fan, but a line that Eddie Vedder used at a concert once. This is the weirdest life I've ever led. Because it's it's very surreal. I never saw myself on a ship when I was young.
Mm-hmm.
I always wanted to be in radio as yourself, or most importantly, wanted to be on TV, film, whatever it was. I always wanted to be a performer. And then I got to the theme park, did a little bit of stuff, and started to make contacts and then now I'm on a cruise ship, but it's not real TV, but I get to be on TV every day.
Yeah.
I have a broadcast room that I can want to film a sketch, I film it. I've got some great toys that I get to use.
I've seen the broadcast room. Very, very professional. It's very, very cool.
Very cool.
Now, tell us a little bit about that. You are a very, very talented young guy. And the ideas that you're coming up with. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the films that you've done? I've seen them on board, and I've seen you, but I want you to tell our audience about that.
Well, look, it starts with revenue areas wanting us to promote their areas. So can you go and do a video for them? Sure, no problem. So as we walk around, the brain starts ticking, and you look at something and you think, well, I could use that. Why don't we do this? So you saw a video of my assistant coming out of the beach.
Yes.
I don't know if you saw that one with his big hairy chest. You may not have seen it, but anyway.
No, I don't think I saw that one.
I had this brainy idea that on a beach, I'm relaxing at a cabana, and then I look around, and out comes my hairy assistant, like Ursula Andrews or like Bo Derek out of the water, just thrashing the hair around, and then rubbing his big, dirty, hairy chest, and to me that's, I'm going to throw up. So my beautiful day's gone to a record scratch, and out comes this ugly, hairy man who's just loving his body too much. But it was just, it was off the cuff, you know. Here's an idea, let's try this, let's try that. And TV, I love a piss take. I like watching some of the commercials that I've seen over here in the States, and I'm like, I can do something with that. So now we're in the process of filming a piss take on the Forever Lazy onesie. I don't know if you've ever seen them, but it's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful product.
I don't know what it is.
It's a onesie. It's like the kids wear, like a
pajama.
Yeah, but for adults.
Okay.
But it's such a great product that you can go to tailgate parties in this thing, or you can go to baseball games. You can do everything in this onesie. But if I wouldn't be caught dead in public with this thing. But here's these guys looking really cool with women on their arm, and they're in freaking adult pajamas. So I've taken that to another level, that you can do everything in this thing. You can go swimming in it. You can, be dancing in the nightclub and whatever. So it's in the process of being finalised at the moment. So we've got a few last shots to do.
Oh, wonderful. Do you have any of your productions on YouTube?
No, because we don't have any rights for any of the music or anything like that. So, so it all just gets played in-house, not for any real, which is a shame, because I'd like maybe some of the stuff's pretty funny that we've got out there, and you'd like to be able to get it out, but it's really just for the internal side.
Yeah.
It's a bummer.
You should make copies of these things on a flash drive, because, I think looking back years from now, perhaps when you're retired, bring back some great memories, and who knows what you could do with them, through your journey, of life.
Yep. No, that's another great thing is that because of all this technology we've gotten at my disposal, I say, give me a copy of this. I want all my files. Here's the hard drive. Put everything I've done. It all gets kept. So it's, I don't like to say it's good to be the king, because I'm not. But I'm at the highest part of my division, and so I can get some stuff that I really want, even personally, or just that I can have as a memory.
Yeah, and share with family, friends, your kids.
Sure. Look, my dad's cruising this week, and he wants every copy of all the shows I've done. But it is great, but it also gives the techs and the people that creative element too, not just filming the same stuff day in, day out.
Yeah.
Let's go and create. What have you got an idea? I want this shot. Well, what if we did it this way? Like it. Done. I like that collaboration of just things coming together and gelling.
Yeah. I liked the commercial, I'll call it, that you did on the motorcycle, on the Harley.
Oh yeah.
Now, how did you wheel that thing through the hallways?
It's amazing, wasn't it?
It was great.
Yeah. It's called green screen.
Is that what that?
You dumbass.
I should know that.
There's a green screen, and then we just got the camera guy to zoom around and gets to pick up some extra shots.
Yeah.
Look what you're dealing with here, people. Good choice.
Yes.
But we've got some great stuff. We've got trolleys down there that don't get utilised, or boom arms that put the camera on. We've got some really great stuff that's been sitting there for 10 years, being storage, because we don't have a need for it. But if we wanted to, we've got lights, rigs, and everything we could set up.
That's great.
Yeah.
That is great.
It's very cool.
Where do you see yourself 5 or 10 years down the road?
I'd love to do TV. I would. Probably in the States more than anything. Obviously, the green card would have to become a very vital part of that.
Well, I don't know. Not so much with the administration. I think you just come right over. Nobody says anything to you.
As long as you come in whistling, you're fine.
Yeah.
Nonchalant. I would. I'd love to. I'd love to do. I don't even know what facet. Originally I wanted to be an actor when I was younger. I like learning lines, and I like taking on a character, and but I would need a lot of vocal lessons, a lot of practice in getting the American accent if I wanted to play an American. My American accent is just awful.
Can we hear an American accent? I don't know what one is.
It's this is my attempt on it. Now, I worked at a theme park that they used to do the Police Academy stunt show.
Okay.
So I used to open up the show, and please forgive me, all the American viewers out there, this is just atrocious. I would have to come out and say, "Welcome everyone to Warner Brothers Movie World's Police Academy Stunt Show." Or as we say here at Movie World, a place where if anything can go wrong, it will. And it usually does right here at the Police Academy set. Look at that.
That was excellent.
What are you talking about? It was awful. It was awful.
You had a little Italian in there, a little Brooklyn, I noticed.
I know. I pick up something. I get a little bit of Texan in there. It's just a big bag of mess. That's all it is. Yeah. So no, I would. I like radio as well. I whether it be a drive home. I'm not into the whole, all that cheesy. I don't know. Sorry, I haven't heard your show. I don't know if you've got that in there, but
no, we don't.
Good. But I'd like to just be able to play. And I like the great thing about radio is that if you do a sketch on a radio, it's like listening to a tape. The first time I ever listened to Eddie Murphy's Delirious was on cassette tape. And so you picked it in your head. What was he wearing? What was he doing at this point? Why are the crowd laughing at this point? So that's the beauty of audio, is that you create a lot more in your head. Yeah. So anything, as long as I'm performing, I really want to perform, and I'd like to do it at a higher level.
That's great.
Yeah. So we'll set the sides high, and we won't drop them until eventually it doesn't happen at the age of 80. All right, enough's enough. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, this was absolutely a pleasure talking with you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time. You're one of the many people that I've talked to that absolutely love what they do. It shows through in all of your performances throughout the ship, and just talking to you personally one-on-one. It really has been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Look, it's the best drug in the world. You can't beat performing, You walk off stage and you can't get to sleep because you're running over your head what worked, what didn't, whatever it was. It's a good gig.
Yeah.
It is. Thanks, Anthony.
Thank you very much,
Good
Lee.
man.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Welcome.
Need a salon that's about the whole you? Precision haircuts, flawless makeup, impeccable nails, top-rated professional hair products. Anthony Vincent Salon. Looking for a hairstylist who has his finger on the pulse of all the latest trends? Anthony Vincent Salon. Looking for a dependable salon with over 35 years in the industry? Anthony Vincent Salon. Looking for New York City and internationally trained stylists that will create the perfect look for you? Anthony Vincent Salon. Shine brightly while walking down the aisle. Anthony Vincent Salon. For longer, thicker, beautiful hair extensions, Anthony Vincent Salon. Incredible makeup applications for weddings, proms, or any special occasions. Anthony Vincent Salon. Have dry, brittle summer hair? Get a hot shot. Anthony Vincent Salon. Before you put a ring on it, manicure it. Anthony Vincent Salon. Your image is their specialty. For the 150,000 hairs on your head, there's only one choice. Anthony Vincent Salon. For a more beautiful you, call now 609-448-2212 and follow them on Twitter.
You've been listening to Trend Radio, where we talk about what's hot and what's not every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Listen to us anytime, any place. Download the TuneIn Radio app to your smartphone or tablet and make 920 The Voice your favorite.
And if you have a topic of interest that you want us to talk about, or you'd like to be a guest on our show, email us now at trendradio920@gmail.com. You'll be glad you did.
I'm Anthony Vincent.
And I'm Elise.
We'll talk to you next week.
Bye for now.